Hi.
Welcome to another episode of The Wave. My name is Adam.
My name's Nick. Welcome aboard. It's the weekly news and chat show from the world famous Bottom of the Stream podcast.
I feel like we've come in hot there. We were high energy.
Yeah.
I like it.
Good.
How are you, Nick?
Yeah, pretty good.
Good. Got any gossip for me?
Well, you know, we had a bit of a get together, didn't we, last weekend?
We did, yes.
For the Queen's crown birthday.
Platytubes. Hashtag platytubes. I hate that. I don't know why I've just said that. I've made myself cringe.
I like you less than I did 5 seconds ago.
Well, it wasn't for that. It was just a coincidence that happened to be on at the same time.
Because, you know, everyone had just stopped for a few days.
Yeah, exactly. So we just had a few days. So we got together and had a few pizzas.
Yeah.
The kids ran rampage around my house for a bit.
Yeah.
It was great.
Had some windy pizzas.
Yeah, it was very windy.
It's fun times.
It's fun times. It's nice to socialise every so often.
Yeah. Yeah, still feels like a bit of a novelty.
Yeah, it does.
Which is odd.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, so that was cool.
Yep.
What else? Can't even remember. Just did some stuff.
Just done some stuff.
Yeah.
Been some places.
Yeah.
Saw some people.
And
Lived your life.
Back at it. Here we are.
Cool.
Watched an interesting movie.
Yeah, we did.
Which I can't wait to talk about on Thursday on the movie
it's going
show.
to be... I've just said to you off air, it's going to be an hour and a half long, that episode, or 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not sure which.
Not quite sure where we're going with it yet.
And it always makes for the best episodes when we've got, quite frankly, no idea how we're going to tackle this bizarre movie.
I don't even know where to start on it.
8 Remains.
8, or possibly Infinity Remains, we've just decided it might be called. We don't know.
Yeah. Symbol Remains.
Something remains. What does remain is the memory of this film.
I think is our first German movie.
Yeah,
that we've
is.
Seen in 130 odd, 50 odd movies.
Yeah, we've done 6 seasons. That's 150, isn't it?
So please come back Thursday on this very feed and find that show because I don't know what it's going to be
I'm
like.
Terrified of how we're going to record this episode. It's going to be fun. Do you want to do a little bit on last week's episode? What was last week's episode?
Last week's movie episode was The Land of Steady Habits.
Oh, of course. I'm talking of boring films.
The Netflix original
Christmas movie.
Christmas dark family comedy.
Yeah.
It was fine.
It was meh. We've had a meh season for movie shows so far. So, but I think this week...
No gems.
No gems.
No shockers.
I think this week we've got a bit of a...
We've got something.
Something's happened this Thursday. So come back on this very feed to listen to it.
I thought The Land of Steady Habits, it was all right. It had some good acting in it.
Yeah, it did.
By some people.
Yeah.
And then was ultimately flawed like the other 4 movies we've seen this season as well.
Absolutely. Right.
You never know what you're going to get from the randomizer, do you?
You do not. Robin is a mysterious guy.
Or girl.
Or girl. Before we move on
whatever pronouns you want to use.
Before we move on to the Netflix news, let's go back to the Jubilee for a few minutes.
Sure.
I was at my parents' house on Sunday afternoon.
Okay.
And they were watching this pageant.
Right.
That was going down the mall.
Was this like the parade type?
It was like a carnival type. Yeah.
Shit.
3 hours I watched it for.
Oh, why?
Did you happen to be there?
Had you got put in a trance?
I got to the point where I was like, this is so fucking weird. I'm intrigued. So there are all these buses with like celebrities on from across the decades of the Queen's reign. So there was like 6 buses, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, but then it stopped at 2000s.
Okay.
As if the 2010s were not a thing. But they've got the most random celebrities on.
Real celebrities are on the floats?
Yeah, on the floats, just waving.
This has totally bypassed me. I had no idea.
They weren't doing anything.
Okay.
They were just waving from the top of an open bus. So, like, I'm talking super random. Like, Johnny Ball was on one of them. It was Zoe Ball's dad.
Yeah.
With Nigel Havers.
Right.
And Chris Tarrant. All those sorts of people. But then, on the 90s one, do you want to have a guess who was on the 90s one?
Oh, I don't. A Spice Girl?
I don't think there was a Spice Girl. But Kate Moss was on it.
Right, okay.
Kate Moss, Naomi Campbell.
Or you're just listing people who are either really rich or friends with lords and ladies. That's why they're on the float.
Yeah.
It's just the royal family's just got their mates in and said, do you fancy it?
Not necessarily, because Timmy Mallet was on it.
Oh, well, fine. Blows that out of the water.
I think there's a market out there for a podcast just on this pageant of putting some sort of like Freedom of Information Act. Who was invited? Who turned it down? who did turn up on the full list, and you could just do a podcast on how this pageant came.
Do you think that's so weird? Do you think that's how it worked? They had we'd like these people, and then you end up with Timmy Mallet.
So weird. And then there was a whole section on dames in. I think there were dames in Rolls Royces or dames in Jaguars.
Okay.
So it was like Elizabeth Taylor. No, not Elizabeth Taylor. Joan Collins was in one. Like just dames, just riding down the mall in these Jaguars. And then Prue Leaf, who is now a dame apparently, hers broke down.
Oh,
in the most British thing ever. She had to be pushed off the mall by 3 guys in high-vis shirts.
I do not understand pomp and circumstance.
The most British thing.
It's so weird.
It was so weird.
See, other people watching it from they say like, oh, drop an alien down. They think, what the fuck is this? I think just anyone who's not in the Commonwealth just watching it and going, what are these people on?
What is going on? It was like a trip. It was like I was tripping.
Was this the thing where? Was this the event where there was they got the golden carriage out and it was a hologram of the young queen?
Yeah, that's what started. It was the
so
queen
people are just standing at the side of the road waving at a hologram.
Yeah,
that's insane.
It was insane, and it was creepy as fuck as well because it was like you could see her almost in there, and then it was appear, and then it would disappear. It was weird, man. It was her. It was an image of her from that very carriage when she was. I was going to say cremated then. That's not the word. Coronated.
So weird.
It was the most British thing I've ever seen. And all the regiments of the army and the navy and the air force, they all went first. So they were all marching. That was quite cool. But Prince Charles was just stood there just waving at everybody for like an hour and a half. And then he just sat down when all these like crazy buses were coming past.
Yeah.
But then
he's not going to wave at Timmy Mallet.
No, he's not going to wave. Why would he even look at Timmy Mallet? But then all the royal kids were getting pissed off because it was taking so long. So they were just causing riots. And it was the most British thing I've ever seen, and it was hilarious. It was 3 hours long.
That just sounds
honestly,
awful.
if you catch some sort of highlights package, it was insane. Cliff Richard was on one.
Oh, of course he was.
He's been bitching that he wasn't invited to the concert the night before, and then he was on a bus on Sunday. So it was madness. Anyway, I just wanted to mention the fact that.
No, I'm glad you did because I didn't realise that level of weirdness happened.
Oh, the best thing as well.
I just don't get it.
The best thing as well. They've got commentators. So I think it was Claire Balding and Nicholas Parsons.
Fantastic. No, he's dead.
No, not Nicholas Parsons.
Giles
Brandreth. Close. Okay. Giles Brandreth. They started it, right? And they were talking away. And then for some reason, out of nowhere, Giles Brandreth mentioned Vladimir Putin.
Right.
And he never spoke again. And then Scott Mills just appeared. And he was commentating then. And it was like he'd been dragged away. It was so weird. It was the most British day. Honestly, check out the highlights package. People will be talking about that day for years. There needs to be a podcast on who was invited and who turned it down.
The story behind the
Jubilee pageant.
Jubilee float.
Yeah, it was mad. But anyway, shall we do some?
It's just mental. The whole concept is it's so odd to me.
Yeah, it's just weird, isn't it? Shall we do some Netflix news?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a big week in the world of Netflix.
Certainly has.
It has been Geeked Week.
Oh, of course.
We'll get to that in a few stories' time because
it's kind of passed me by, so it'll be interesting to find out what's been announced.
There has been quite a lot of announcements / first looks at various things. So we'll get to that in a minute. But what we're going to start with is animation.
Oh, I love it.
We talked a few weeks ago about the upcoming Annecy Festival in France this summer. Well, in the run-up to that, Netflix has released information on a slew of animated films and series coming later this year or into next year.
Okay.
But this time, I think we talked about some of the animated slate coming a few weeks ago. This particular press release just focuses on animation that has been created by European talent.
Oh, okay.
Given that the upcoming festival is in France. And man, there's a lot of stuff coming.
Oh, nice.
Ember is a hand-drawn epic adventure tale of humankind's quest for fire.
Oh.
Through the eyes of a young cave person.
Okay.
Scrooge, A Christmas Carol is coming.
Oh, nice.
Got to have your version of that if you're any sort of film.
Isn't it like the most adapted book of all time?
I believe so. It's also got songs. It's a musical adaptation.
Oh, it looks pretty. That picture's cool.
That's hitting Netflix in December.
Obviously. Imagine if that's hitting Netflix in July.
Yes, well, you joke, but there's been several times where we've gone. Was it Fear Street? Oh, that must be coming out in October.
Yeah. No, yeah, true.
But yes, I think for Christmas it would be particularly weird.
Yeah, it would.
Richard Curtis, who famous middling rom-com director.
Yeah, that's a bit harsh. He's probably the most successful British rom-com director of all time. Yeah,
has sold the adaptation of That Christmas.
Okay.
Which is an animated adaptation of his series of children's books.
Oh, okay. Oh, that picture comes from that, not from the Christmas Carol thing. Sorry, that's my bad.
It follows a series of entwined tales about love and loneliness, family and friends. One of which is Santa Claus making a big mistake.
Oh. He's the last one you want to be making a mistake.
Steve Box.
Good name. Strong, solid.
He directed Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
Okay.
He has got an untitled animated film coming to Netflix.
Okay.
It's a family comedy heist movie.
Always good.
Bad Dinosaurs is
Always
an
fun.
animated series coming soon, produced by some of the guys behind some of the Love, Death and Robots
Oh, nice.
short stories.
Interesting.
Mermaid Magic is also coming to Netflix, and The Seven Bears, based on the acclaimed graphic novels by Emile Bravo.
Ooh.
There's tons. One that might really excite you.
Okay.
Is confirmation that there is a new adult animated series coming to Netflix by Zero Calcare.
Oh, really? Wow. He was the guy who did Tear Along the Dotted Line.
Yeah. This notification does not say whether it is the second series of Tear Along the Dotted Line or something else.
That was such a great show.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Really,
if you're
really
new and you've not heard us talk about it before, go to Netflix and check out Tear Along the Dotted Line.
Yeah.
Because it's brilliant.
It's a French animation, but it's
animated sitcom.
Yeah, they're like 10-minute episodes. They're short episodes.
Short series.
It's great. It's
amazing.
One of the best bits of animation I've ever seen.
It's just awesome.
It really is.
So yeah, an absolute ton of stuff coming.
Cool.
If you're a fan of animation.
Or who isn't?
Exactly.
Who doesn't like animation? Yeah. Excellent. Keep your eyes open. We'll hit you with more news as and when we get it.
Let's go back to a topic we've mentioned a few times in the last few weeks. Password sharing.
Well, this is big news, isn't it? It's hanging around in the news environments.
Well, now Mark Randolph's weighed in.
Okay.
Now I don't know if you are aware of that name.
I think we might have mentioned him once before on the show.
He was the co-founder of Netflix back in the day. And he was the CEO between 1997 and 2003. He's had his say on this crackdown on password sharing.
Yep.
And sort of why Netflix was set up the way they were originally. He says, I don't think anyone wants to make it difficult for people who have legitimate users to share their password or use their password in multiple locations. But at the same time, the company would like to control egregious use, which is when people distribute their passwords to dozens or scores of other people.
That's fine. If that's what they're cracking down on, I have no issue with that.
Yeah.
That is absolutely fine.
The challenge, he believes, for Netflix is to find the middle point.
Yeah.
So he doesn't believe, like we've suggested previously, that it will be a complete crackdown.
No,
they need to pull their finger out on
the same password's being used on like 100 different logins,
exactly,
and close that password down. That's fair. Some people are just spoiling it for everybody else.
Yeah. Oh, that's always the same.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, I that's how I've always seen it. I just don't see them going to Joe Public and saying you can't share your password with your grandma. I just don't I don't see them ever doing that.
Yeah.
Next,
a movie purchased by Netflix.
Okay.
Is gonna hit worldwide later this year. That's got quite a few people talking.
Next month.
Is a Taiwanese horror movie.
Oh, I do love Asian horror.
Incantation.
Good name.
It came out in March in Taiwan and is already the highest grossing film this year in Thailand.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Kevin Coate is the director. He says, I'm really proud that Incantation is going to be released globally on Netflix, maximising the number of people who can watch it. It's always been my dream to make films that travel around the world and be watched by every horror fan on Earth. I want to keep them awake at night.
Ooh.
Netflix says the movie combines fourth wall breaks, found footage, and mockumentary style filmmaking. It is based on a true story following a family of cult worshippers in the port city of Kaohsiung.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I like the idea of like found footage alongside mockumentaries and fourth wall break. Fourth wall breaks are always fun.
Netflix Chinese language content manager said Incantation has resonated strongly with Taiwanese audiences, and we are excited to share this movie with our members around the world.
I feel like found footage has been done to death, but if you can put some sort of twist on it, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I will check that out. It's coming next month, according to this article. So
excellent.
I would definitely be checking that out.
Yeah, I think that does sound.
That's right up my street.
You really can go and find the trailer if you want. It is out there on the World Wide Web.
I will watch it as soon as we finish recording. Next.
How do you feel about Ghostbusters?
I love Ghostbusters.
How did you feel about Ghostbusters Afterlife?
I very much enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
How did you feel about the real Ghostbusters, the 1980s animated series?
Fantastic. The toys were amazing.
Yeah,
I've
they
still
were
got
cool.
some of them.
Yeah.
They're great. They're like Transformer ghost things, weren't they?
How would you feel if I said you can have all of that back?
Cool.
Because
Yep.
last week, June the 8th, was the anniversary of the original release of the first Ghostbusters movie.
Oh, really? Okay.
So apparently it was Ghostbusters Day.
Oh, how did I miss that?
I know. I didn't put my tree up
Not me.
or my stocking out for Father Marshmallow Man or anything. Well, they announced a ton of new Ghostbusters stuff.
Excellent.
A live action sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh, brilliant. That's cool.
A Netflix cartoon series.
Excellent.
And another Sony animated movie.
Right.
Featuring new characters. That's 2 new movies in a cartoon series.
All announced on the same day?
Yeah.
Wow. Excellent.
Clearly, they're no longer afraid of these ghosts.
No. Good.
Because that's all coming this way. The sequel to Afterlife has the working title Firehouse and will move the action to New York City.
Nice.
The cast from Afterlife are stated to return, as are Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Ernie Hudson.
Oh, brilliant. That ending of that, if you're not seeing it, that works so well.
It's lovely.
It's
a real heartwarming
proper nostalgia hit, isn't
finale.
it? There's a Ghostbusters VR game coming, which is
yes,
really exciting.
I have heard of this as well.
It looks really good. It's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of fun, I think. It's like a team co-op. You get to be a Ghostbuster with your friends.
I think it's set to be one of the titles for the... Is it the
PSVR 2.
PSVR 2?
Yeah, it is.
For when that comes
That
out.
got announced this week, actually. It's been announced for PC for a while. But yeah, it's coming out to the PSVR 2.
You get slimed.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
Reality.
It seems like the perfect thing to put in VR.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Because you can't do it
There
in real
was
life.
there was a Ghostbusters game a good few years ago, wasn't there?
Yeah.
That was quite highly rated.
Yeah, I think that was on the original Xbox.
Yeah.
I remember playing one years and years and years ago when it was like pre-consoles. I mean, like Amstrad Amiga type days.
Wow.
Years ago. Ghostbusters probably been having computer games as long as computer games have been a thing.
That's it, isn't it? Now the cat's out the bag, so to speak. They've done the first one. The studio's gone brilliant. Milk it for all it's worth.
It's crazy when you think how long it's took
To get everyone involved.
to go back to the Ghostbusters
Yeah.
thing when it was such a cult phenomenon of the 80s.
Yeah.
It's taken this long to go back to it. It's mad, really, when you think about it.
This might not be the last we hear of Ghostbusters on this episode
Ooh,
of
okay.
The Wave, but
Exciting.
let's park that.
Okay. We will park it. Next.
As part of Netflix is a Joke,
Yeah.
their recent comedy festival in Los Angeles, there was, and it's also just been released on Netflix itself, there was a comedy special, Stand Out, an LGBTQ plus celebration.
Okay.
Well, Netflix has now announced that they are also releasing a Standout, the documentary, which will combine original performances, interviews, archive materials, and backstage footage to explore themes like comedy as activism and diversity.
Cool.
Focusing on the importance of LGBTQ stand-up as an instrument for social progress. It's going to have talent like Sandra Bernhard, Rosie O'Donnell, Margaret Cho, and others to be announced. I think that's really good, and it really at least flies in the face of all the Dave Chappelle that's out on Netflix.
There's a kind of guy. They're supposed to have to aim themselves at everybody, don't they? And they are doing that. So yeah, good for them. Apparently, it's great. I've not seen it myself yet. I will check it out.
Yeah.
But
have you watched any of the Netflix
No.
as a joke specials?
No,
I haven't either.
I will check some of them out.
Try and find some time.
That's the problem, isn't it? No time. Cool. Good for them. Next.
Okay. Right, this is a big one.
Okay, good. This is our roundup.
Let's go back to Geeked Week. I don't know how to tackle this either. I'm just going to go for it.
I'm just going to leave
And
it
you
and
say-
I'm going to listen to you.
You say whether we've been going too long.
Okay.
I think I might skip past most of the animation stuff
Because we've just done it.
because we've done a lot of it.
Okay.
There are going to be new series of Sonic the Hedgehog, the animated show. It's called
Cool.
Sonic Prime.
Yeah.
The Cuphead show is coming back.
Excellent.
There's going to be a Tekken anime coming to
Oh, nice.
Netflix. We're going to get tie-in mobile games.
Okay.
This is the first sort of big rollout using Netflix games.
Yeah.
4. Are you ready?
Yes.
Shadow and Bone,
Okay.
Too Hot to Handle, Money Heist, and The Queen's Gambit.
Is that just be a chess game?
Yeah, well, it's got to be, hasn't it?
Do you know they released the Queen's Gambit board game?
Oh, really?
It was just a chess set.
Well,
It was really clever.
brilliant.
Cool. That's good.
Sorry, that's really made me laugh.
That's true though, as well.
No, I've not seen that.
I'm not that funny.
Okay, so that's sort of animation and games. Let's crack on with the good stuff, the TV stuff.
Yes.
You can now go and find a teaser for Stranger Things 4 Volume 2.
Oh, okay. I've not finished Stranger Things 4 Volume 1 yet.
How much have you done?
5.
Oh, you're ahead of me.
What have you done?
2.
Okay.
2. And look, should we do Stranger Things now?
No, let's do it later.
Okay. Loads of behind the scenes footage from Volume 1 as well.
Cool.
They released a panel where the Hellfire Club played actual Dungeons and Dragons while
Nice.
talking
Really?
about the series as well.
You ever played Dungeons and Dragons?
A couple of times
I've never played it. I don't even know really
when
what
I
it
was
is.
a geeky teenager.
Geeky teenager.
I literally only twice.
Yeah.
I'd never had any of it. I did manage to.
Maybe we should do a bottom of the stream get together Dungeons and Dragons game.
I don't know what we would need, but
Somebody must know.
Yeah.
Ross Cook definitely has played Dungeons and Dragons. Ross, set it up.
But I think that would be pretty cool. I'd be up for it.
Yeah, let's do it. Jordan Shenton will be up for it. He's proper nerd.
I think everyone would be.
Yeah.
Give it a go.
Don't they make their own stories up? Maybe we can have a bottom of the stream themed one.
Oh yeah, it's down to the dungeon master, isn't it? You guided by the
I'm
book,
allocating
and then
Ross as the
you
dungeon
add all
master. I
the
don't know why.
flair. I think.
I'm allocating Ross as the dungeon master. I don't really know why, but
Right.
you've been warned, Ross. We're coming for you.
Some of the film updates.
Yeah, go for it.
The Grey Man, an extended action scene. You can go and find that on the internet now.
Okay, that's coming soon, isn't it?
Yeah, there's the full trailer for The Sea Beast, which is the new animated movie coming from the director of Moana and Big Hero 6.
That's going to be huge, I think, the Sea Beast.
I think so. I've checked out the trailer.
Is it good?
It looks good. Yeah.
I've got a feeling that's going to hit big style.
The amazingly named Raw Utag,
Okay.
who directed the 2018 Tomb Raider movie,
Yep.
is working on a new movie for Netflix. It is called Troll. There's a teaser trailer.
Troll.
Yeah, came out this week.
Cool.
It shows a group of people discovering a troll.
Oh, nice.
The John Wick team is working on a vampire movie with Jamie Foxx, Day Shift.
That's got Snoop Dogg in.
It actually hits Netflix August the 12th.
Yeah.
There's a featurette and trailer available. It was made available this week. Killer Book Club.
Oh, that sounds right on my street. What's that?
Is a new Spanish slasher film with mysterious teens and a creepy clown.
Oh, that's 100% me.
The book club doesn't just read, they commit crimes, escape the law, and pass the blame around.
Oh, okay.
That is coming soon to Netflix.
That sounds fun.
There is a trailer available now.
I'll check that out as well. Making a list of trailers I need to check out.
A movie we have mentioned before now also has a trailer. Blasted. It's the paintball alien invasion movie.
Yep. I do remember us talking about that.
Yeah, June the 28th.
Okay.
Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead. Sounds like a fake movie title.
It
from
does,
one of our
yeah,
games.
it does, yeah. Zom 100.
Yeah. It's a zombie movie about a man whose dull life is turned upside down when a zombie outbreak comes to his town. That is coming to Netflix. No cast, no trailer yet.
Okay.
The first clips and trailer have been made available for Wendell and Wild. It's the new stop-motion film co-written by Jordan Peele.
Oh, right. Nice.
We have got more clips and trailers for Spiderhead, which we've talked about before. That's comes to Netflix next week, I believe.
That's the Chris Hemsworth one, isn't it?
Yeah. I know this one will excite you.
Okay.
The first images released this week at Geek Week from Rebel Moon, Zack Snyder's Star Wars knockoff.
Yeah, I'm all right.
You can go and find them if you want to.
No, thanks.
The School for Good and Evil has had a teaser trailer released.
Okay.
A movie about a school where students are trained to either be heroes or villains.
Yep, I remember us talking about that before as well.
A movie that has hit Netflix this week is Interceptor.
Okay, what's that?
Produced by Chris Hemsworth and starring Mrs. Chris Hemsworth, Elsa Pataki.
Okay.
About a one-woman army facing a group of mercenaries. There's a load of behind the scenes footage and interviews for that.
Never even heard of that. Sounds good.
Well, if we do the top 10 later, I'm pretty sure it'll be in there.
Okay.
Shall I keep going?
Yeah, just keep going.
Official trailer and posters released for the upcoming Netflix Resident Evil series.
Yep.
You can go and find those.
That's quite exciting. I'm looking forward to that.
The series will take place on 2 timelines, following the lives of Jade and Billy Wesker in New Raccoon City, both before and after the zombie outbreak. I have checked the trailer out. It looks pretty cool.
Sweet.
The Sandman arrives on Netflix.
No, I have seen that trailer.
August the 5th.
That's soon.
Yeah.
I have seen that trailer, and to be honest, I was a little bit nonplussed by it.
I thought the trailer was good.
Yeah, it's a good trailer, but it didn't really sell the film to me.
But yeah, I agree. I'm familiar with the Sandman, but it didn't knock my socks off.
No.
It felt very Netflixy.
Yeah, it did.
I know how great a story that is, and just from the trailer, I was like, "Whoa, this just looks like a lot of other things Netflix have made in the last couple of years."
Yeah. No, I wasn't that.
But let's not judge it.
No, I'm not going to judge it. We'll still watch it, but I wasn't that infused by it.
You have your first. They say teaser. I've seen it, and it's just a lady in a costume. Look at Wednesday.
I've seen it as well, and it is just a lady in a costume, but she looks great. She looks like Wednesday Addams. It's not what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be a bit more modernized, I guess.
She just walked onto a stage.
Yeah, but she's
surrounded by smoke.
But she's dressed like Wednesday Addams, as you would imagine Wednesday Addams to be dressed like, and I was expecting it to be a bit more of a modern, different take on it.
Okay.
But no, she looks great. She looks just like how Wednesday Addams should look.
There are trailers and interviews with the cast of The Umbrella Academy for their upcoming 3rd season.
Yep.
There is a first look. Again, it's more of a making of type thing at Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities.
I've watched that as well. I watched the trailer for that whatever that was.
Is an 8-episode series coming. It's a horror anthology.
Yeah, it's made by really famous horror people.
Yeah.
Like the director of the Babadook's made one and that sort of thing. It does the teaser trailer is quite good. It doesn't give you anything away, but it looks quite good.
Rupert Grint's in one of
them.
them.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
There you go. Rahul Kohli introduced The Midnight Club, a new series from the producers of The Haunting of Hill house.
I am looking forward to that.
The teaser shows a group of teens in a creepy house, which is said to shapeshift.
Ooh. No, I am looking forward to that one. I think that one looks great.
Yeah.
Rahul Cooley's awesome, isn't he?
Do you know what? He's a great follow on Twitter.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, check him out.
Good content. But he just like goes and buys loads of Lego and action figures.
Oh, really?
Because why wouldn't you if you're a rich actor?
Yeah.
Having the time of your life. Netflix announced The Imperfects, a new sci-fi drama about young adults being turned into monsters by evil scientists against their will.
Yeah, I saw a clip of that as well. It looks all right.
There are behind-the-scenes updates from Sweet Tooth Season 2. There's a teaser trailer for Lock and Key Season 3. There are clips and trailers for Fate, the Winx Saga Season 2. That's all like witches and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Warrior Nun Season 2.
I can't believe that's coming back.
Shadow and Bone Season 2. Manifest Season 4 sneak peek.
But Netflix cancels everything after one season. What are you talking about?
The Vikings Valhalla blooper reel. Barbarians 2 is coming to Netflix this fall. All of Us Are Dead has been renewed for a Season 2.
I never got to that. I really want to watch that.
I watched the first episode.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed it. And then realised I'd sat and watched an hour and 25-minute long episode. And the rest of them also looked very long.
Wow.
But
I think that's what put me off. But no,
I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I never went back.
Stranger Things have done it. So
Yeah.
why can't anything else do it, I suppose?
The first images were released of Season 2 of Alice in Borderland.
Excellent. That was a great show. That was the first thing we did on when we were back doing Extending the Rods, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to Season 2 of that. I reckon that's going to be a big hit as well. That really, Squid Game elevated that show so much.
A lot of people went and found it after
Because people
Squid
were
Game.
clambering for more Squid Game, and that's the closest you're going to get.
Yeah.
It's possibly better than Squid Game.
I enjoyed it more than Squid Game.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Personally.
There's an argument to be had. So I think that would do big numbers when that comes, Season 2 of that.
Yeah, I think it will as well. And that's a good roundup, I would
It's
say.
a really good roundup. You've done like 8 minutes. Well done. You padded out this episode because we were short. Though that Geek Weeks is really good because you just get fired with information. Yeah. I was watching a few things on YouTube the other night and I could have gone for hours.
Yeah.
But I was like, I need to stop. I've got a life.
So, Netflix does cancel stuff, but
there's a lot of stuff
doesn't
coming.
cancel a lot of stuff.
No, and there's a lot of stuff coming.
Yeah, rumours of its demise may have been greatly exaggerated.
Yeah, I think you're right.
My last bit of news.
Oh, you got more?
Yeah, got one last bit.
Okay.
Adam Wingard has done an interview with Empire magazine.
Okay.
And in that, he has talked about a project that he and his collaborator Simon Barrett are close to cracking the script for. That project is Face Off 2.
Nice. Nice.
And he revealed in the interview that it is a definite sequel,
Okay.
but if they can do the deal with him, Nicolas Cage would return and his character Castor Troy is in it, despite having definitely died at the end of Face Off. I'm here for it. However you can
100%.
you can get that character back. Let's do it.
I don't even care how you do it. Just do it. What about Travolta?
Whatever. Just get Cage.
You can't do it without both of them, surely.
He could swap faces with someone else.
Well, yeah, I suppose he could.
Let's get them all back.
Have a freeway face-off.
Yeah.
For like 5.
Face off, on, off.
Face off and off and off. Excellent.
I love Face
I
Off.
haven't seen Face Off in years. I might give that a watch.
That would be a good watch
I was
along.
just going to say maybe it'd be a good watch along.
Yeah.
We'll see how Robert goes down on Sunday and we'll do it.
Might want to rephrase that. If there's any Roberts listening.
No? Come at me, Robert. I've just clicked that same thing again. Literally. News done?
That's all the news.
That's a great roundup of news you've done there, Nick. Well done. Congratulations. You're an awesome news reader.
It's a pleasure.
Have you watched anything good at the top of the stream?
I've watched a few things.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember what they are because you've gone off the screen.
Sorry, I've taken the list off.
That's fine.
There we go.
I've watched the first 2 episodes of Stranger Things.
Let's talk Stranger Things.
I had to think in my head then. Have I watched 2 or 3? It's 2.
I've done 5.
Look,
I've done 5.
exactly the same things happened again. I was I'm a fan of Stranger Things.
Yep.
I wasn't particularly excited that it was coming back. Like, I wasn't hyped for it.
Same.
I watched 2 episodes. I thought it was absolutely brilliant.
All 5 of them have been brilliant. From the ones I've watched, it's been great. It's never been this good. I don't think it's ever been.
I have never been back to watch, but I think certainly it's on a par with that first season so far. You
can definitely see the £30 million an episode budget.
It looks
beautiful,
expensive.
It does. It looks like it's like watching a film. Every episode's like watching a film.
Yeah,
they're an hour. The feature length episodes, hour and a half long at least, and they just look great. It's just some of the kids are a bit gangly and a bit wrong. I cannot get over Noah Schnapp and how big he's got.
Yeah,
it's like stacked. But no, it's brilliant. The girl who plays, what's the ginger one called? Max. She's great.
Yeah,
she's really great. Her in episode 4 is just, she's wonderful. But yeah, I've been very impressed with Stranger. Like you, I wasn't looking forward to it. I knew I'd watch it.
Yeah,
but I wasn't like hyped for it. But I'm hyped for it now.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely. I'll even watch that 2.5 hour episode. No, good for them. I'm going to do another one when you've gone tonight.
Yeah, it's just great. I have been watching Rick and Morty season 5.
Okay,
which is now on Netflix.
I think I've done that already.
I think it's been there for a while.
I'm kind of lost with Rick and Morty because it's on in places and then it appears in other places, and I'm like,
that's why I just stick to Netflix because I can see it in a list.
Yeah, and it's it's there.
I don't know how far I've done. Oh, it's great. Yeah,
it's just Rick and Morty is just wonderful.
Yeah.
Talking of Rick and Morty, incidentally, I watched you mentioned that Farzar.
Oh yeah,
there's a trailer been released for that this week.
Yes,
and it's just like a Rick and Morty episode. It's literally like a Rick and Morty, but from different creators.
Yeah,
so check that trailer out.
Yeah, we'll do.
It's fun. Anything else?
I've watched the first episode on Disney Plus. Watched it with my eldest daughter.
Okay,
she picked it out of Ms. Marvel.
I didn't even. That wasn't. I knew it was coming. It wasn't on my radar that it was this coming.
Well, it's here.
It's here.
It came. It's here.
Is it all of there? Or
No.
Is it coming weekly?
No, weekly.
Okay, cool. I might wait for it to all get there then.
So, I only watched the first one.
Thoughts?
Really, really enjoyed it.
Good. Okay.
I would say it seems to be quite influenced by the Spider-Verse movie.
Yeah.
There's a lot of so they'll be walking along and then talking and there's animation sort of bursting behind them.
Oh, right, okay.
Like on walls and in the sky. And,
nice.
So it
Loki
looks
did a
really
bit
cool.
of that as well, didn't it?
Yeah.
So.
And it's early impressions. Yeah, can't wait to watch the next one. And my daughter was enthused by it.
Excellent. Well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's being review bombed on Rotten Tomatoes, which is annoying. But
really, why?
Because there's a Muslim character who should be a white person. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But hopefully it will come past that and survive.
Yeah.
Because I've heard a lot of good things about it, to be honest.
Yeah, well, hopefully it continues. But yeah, certainly from the first episode, I'm quite excited for it. I never even watched Moon Knight, but I've already watched the first episode of this, so it's
I've still never seen the finale of Moon Knight. Excellent. Anything else?
No, I think that's it for me. How about you?
I haven't watched anything really this week, except I did go to the cinema on Monday.
Okay.
I went to the cinema with our good friend Wayne, friend of the show, friend of ours, and I watched a film called Men.
Oh yeah, I'm aware of this.
You're aware of it? It's
seen the trailers.
Rory Kinnear's new project.
Yeah.
We on this podcast have done some batshit crazy films over the years.
Sure, it's Alex Garland, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've never done anything as batshit crazy as Men.
Oh, really? That crazy?
I honestly don't even know how to talk to you about this film. I don't want to give any spoilers away because everybody should watch it. Because if you're a horror movie fan, you should definitely watch it.
Is it a horror?
It's a complete horror.
Oh, okay. Fine.
But it's also the last 20 minutes is a massive gore fest. So it's all the way through. It's creepy horror.
Yeah.
Everything's really creepy and horrible, and then it just switches itself to this gross out gore. There's one scene in it that made me shudder, and that
sounds like you're describing Apostle so far.
It's 10 million times weirder than that. So Rory Kinnear plays every male character in the film.
Yeah.
So the premise of the film is this lady has moved to the Cotswolds, which she's gone on holiday to the Cotswolds.
Yeah.
In this big like Airbnb type mansion place that she's rented for a couple of weeks because her husband has killed himself and she saw it happen. He jumped from the balcony above where she lived and she saw him jump, and it scarred her a little bit.
Sure.
And she needs to go and get over it. And she meets this various cast of different men in this village. And the metaphor of the film is that all men are monsters.
Yeah.
And then at the end, all the men become a monster. But fuck me, it's batshit crazy. It's proper creepy. There's a scene that's 17 minutes long with no dialogue. 20% of the film there's no dialogue in. And it makes you cringe a little bit. But then there's one scene, there's one of the bits of the gory bit. I turned to Wayne and we both just looked at it. And I've never left the cinema speechless before. And honestly, both of us didn't speak. I literally have no idea what to make of it. Everybody should see it.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I loved it. But I didn't know that at the time.
Yeah.
Thinking about it since, I've given it 7 out of 10. Maybe it's even an 8.
Okay.
But it's taken me a week to think about it, to realise how much I enjoyed it. Every horror movie fan should see it, but you should be aware that ending is fucking mental. Off air, I know you won't want to. I know you won't be bothered about knowing, so I'll tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. It's really crazy. But
sold me.
It's great. It's really good. Check it out, but just be prepared for what it is, because it's ludicrous. It really
good.
is.
You've definitely sold me.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I've watched. I haven't really done. I've done 3 episodes of Stranger Things.
Well,
so
that's it. That's your week.
That's
gone.
a movie a night, pretty much. Plus, then this. That's pretty much all I've done. So, do you want to move on to do some real talk?
Yes.
What was this week's topic on Real Talk?
This week's topic was, if you had to watch one movie every day for a whole year, what would it be and why?
Yeah. We had quite a few responses to this. It was it's split opinion, and people have come back to us.
There's a diverse selection of movies in these responses.
There is indeed.
I'll say that for our our listeners.
There certainly is.
Do you want me to start?
Yes.
We'll start with Mr. Ross Cook on the Discord saying Rocky Horror Picture Show.
That's I'm not surprised by Ross's answer. I've watched the Rocky Horror Picture Show with Ross. We did it on a watch along on Grief Burrito's channel, and he just sang all the way through. He knows it half by heart.
I think choosing a musical is quite a cunning idea.
Yeah, because you already know the songs.
Yeah.
Are you not going to hate them, are you?
Yeah, exactly. I do quite like that idea.
As much as I like that film, I don't think I could do it every day, though. I think it might change.
We'll come to our choice in a minute. Yeah. I don't know if I could watch anything.
No, I don't. I've been thinking about this a lot.
As much as I love the films that I love, I don't know if I could watch anything.
I've given this a lot of thought this week. I've came up with one film, and I'm still not 100% sure I could do it.
Yeah.
So we'll do ours at the end. But I think doing the Rocky Horror Picture Show every day would alter your mind somehow.
Well, I would say equally insane is Sam Mulholland, who has suggested his would be Primer. Because hopefully after 365 watchings, he would understand it.
I'd missed that message. I hadn't seen him put that. Fuck me, Primer's insane. Why would you do that?
I like the concept. Yes, it might take you that many watches to understand it fully. But also, you've got to watch it 365 times.
I don't think I could.
It's not an easy movie to watch. It's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
It's not an easy movie to watch.
It's really not an easy movie to watch.
What I've thought about
we watched
through
it together
the week,
once, didn't we?
Yeah, what I've thought about through the week while I was trying to think about my answer to this question is like, what happens when you get to like 10 o'clock at night and you're like, oh shit, I've not watched that movie today. I don't think I'd want to put Primer on.
No. But I think what I'd do at that point, if I got to that point, I think I'd put it on then and watch it twice. So then you've got your 2 days done at once. You can give yourself a day off. No, Primer's an insane choice. It's a good film, but that's an insane choice.
Sam Mulholland's niece would be the Little Mermaid.
Oh, that's
because
nice.
that's what she asked for every time.
Similarly,
my youngest daughter would go for Encanto at the minute.
Is she onto that? Is she
on repeat?
I feel like some kids probably do this without even realising.
Yeah. Did you have one when you were a kid?
Yeah, and it's been suggested.
Okay, we'll get to that. Christopher from Time Shifters Podcast, our good friend, has...
what a great guy.
Has suggested the original Ghostbusters.
Yeah?
A good pick.
A good pick. I don't think I could do it.
Mine is not a million miles away from that.
I don't think I could do the original. There's a big chunk of the original Ghostbusters I don't really like. If I was going to pick one, I'd probably pick Ghostbusters 2 over Ghostbusters.
You're crazy.
But I know, but we know this. But
he says, "I love
good
that
choice.
movie. I used to be able to quote it from beginning to end. It's probably the movie he's seen most ever. I think a very good choice.
It's a good pick.
Then the final one in the Discord is mine. Shall I go with mine now?
Yeah, do yours now if you want.
I actually even did some proper research because last Saturday night I watched this movie.
Right.
I was like, I'm gonna watch it and then think to myself,
could I do it?
Could I do this every night for the next year? And I chose Back to the Future.
Oh, nice.
I had a brilliant time watching it.
Excellent. So you watched the whole thing on Saturday night?
Yeah.
Excellent. How many times have you seen Back to the Future?
I generally don't know.
Really?
A lot.
More than 100?
I think I would probably say yeah.
Really?
I think so.
Wow.
It was again going back to when I was little.
Yeah.
It was one we had on
All the time.
VHS, and it was, you're not necessarily paying attention to it.
No, it's
that
just
many
on.
times,
you
but
just know it.
look,
It's a good choice.
It's a great movie,
it's a
and
good
I was like, I want something that's good that I'm not gonna sort of be bored with. It's got stuff you can still find. There's so much to sort of. You can both not pay attention to it because you're familiar with it,
Yeah.
but equally there's stuff in there to spark you.
Yeah.
My problem is, same with any movie, I'm not sure I'd still love the movie after a year.
That's the problem.
And would I want to then never want to watch that movie again?
How long do you think it takes to get over it?
Do you think you get like PTSD that any time Marty McFly, you saw a picture of Marty McFly?
Or do you think there'd be a point where you're like, right, I feel like I could watch Back to the Future again now? You get to like the following March or something, and you're like, I've done 3 months off it. I could do it again.
So logistically, I don't know if I could handle it, but that I think that would be my choice.
How much would I have to pay you to do it?
Quite a lot. I'm going to be honest. It would be quite expensive for you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not rich, so that's not happening. Shall I read some off the Instagram?
Yes, go for it.
Okie dokie. First response on the Instagram was Wayne, actually. We've just mentioned. He's put Still Crazy.
Oh, okay.
It's his favourite film of all time. He watches it on more than any other film, and it still makes him laugh. So if I'm going to go a full year, I'm going with that.
That's like the old British rock band type comedy.
I think I've seen it once years ago.
Same, I think.
I didn't know that was Wayne's favourite film. I've known him for years. So yeah, he's going with that. Let us know how much it cost me, Wayne. Your good lady wife answered on our Instagram.
Oh, great.
She's gone with The Goonies.
Yeah.
Which I think is the film I've seen more than any other.
Right.
I feel like I've watched The Goonies like you've watched Back to the Future. I've got posters of The Goonies in here. It's like an iconic film from my life.
I think we're seeing a bit of a pattern that, we've had Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, The Goonies. It's that nostalgia taking you back.
Yeah.
You want something that's, they're all, for me, they're all sort of happy place movies, aren't they?
I could do The Goonies, I think, but I would hate to hate The Goonies.
Same
as you feel with Back to the Future.
Yeah.
It would pain me to hate it. Yeah. And then Alex has emailed us. I'm not what he's Instagrammed us, and he's gone with Almost Famous.
Yeah,
which I know you're a big fan of.
Yeah, brilliant movie.
And we had some on Twitter as well. Some of the tweets came in. I think I've seen Almost Famous a couple of times. At 1969 Jeffers has responded on Twitter. He's gone with Groundhog Day. No explanation needed.
Nice. See what he's done there.
That's going to throw your fucking mind out. You're watching Groundhog Day, like Groundhog Day. You're going to have a brain. Your brain's going to just melt inside your head. I don't know what's going to happen to you.
So it's all gone a bit meta.
Chris from the Time Splits podcast went double in on the Ghostbusters thing. He responded on Twitter as well. Bad Guy Has Spoken podcast. They came out with probably Friday or Ace Ventura.
Okay. Same sort of thing applies.
It's that nostalgia vibe, isn't it? And that's everything on the socials, I believe.
Cool. Just you then.
Just me. I thought about this long and hard because I went with, would I go nostalgia? Do I want something that's a complete popcorn movie that I don't have to think about?
Yeah.
Or do I want to go the complete opposite of that and have a movie that I'm going to think about for a whole year? So I did think of The Goonies for a long time. I thought of Home Alone for a long time.
Yeah.
Because I think that's probably the second most. But I think I'm going to go with The Shining.
Okay.
Mainly because I fucking love The Shining.
Yeah.
And I've seen it enough times that if I did end up hating it, I don't think I'd be that bothered about it.
It would not wreck your life.
It wouldn't wreck my life if I hated
I feel
The Shining.
I've done The Shining.
But also, I feel like I could probably get something different out of it every time I watched it. And
It's one of the most analysed movies of all time.
Exactly. So I feel like I could become like the world's leading expert on The Shining.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to go with that.
It's a good choice.
The Stand By Me was another option.
Yeah.
Because that's a really good... again, it's the nostalgia thing. Stand
Yeah.
By Me is the reason I got into Stephen King in the first place. But it's quite long. I was worried about that. But yeah, I'm going with The Shining, I think. I think that's the one.
That's a good choice.
Yeah, I think so. Every time I think about The Shining, like I'm thinking about it now, it makes me want to watch it. So I feel like I'd get a long way in before I started hating it.
Yeah, wait till you get to day 100.
Exactly. I feel like I'd get to that day 100. I was like, fucking, I've got to watch The Shining again. But could I mix it with the other version?
No.
No.
No,
So-
you can't watch the sequel either.
So I think
Well, you can, but you got to watch Shining as well
But
on the
we've-
same day. So.
everybody has gone with an old film.
Yeah.
And nobody's gone with a modern, brand new film that's just come out.
Yeah.
So I think that's really interesting.
That is interesting.
Everybody's gone nostalgia.
Yeah.
Because people have gone, what's my favourite film of all time? And they've all come from a long time ago.
Yeah.
I find that really interesting.
I didn't realise we were doing a social experiment.
I think what we've done is a social experiment.
Fine, I'm on
We've
board.
accidentally done a social experiment.
Yeah, look out in the coming days for this week.
Yeah, we'll give you another topic. We tend to release them on about Tuesday
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday.
because I make the graphic when I'm editing the podcast, so it kind of works that way. So yeah, we'll come up with something to talk about next week, and we'll come back with some more real talk next week.
I'm really enjoying Real Talk.
It's great.
It's becoming one of my favourite bits of the show.
Good. I'm glad.
I know. I lovely to see the interaction out in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Come at us. If you want to join the Discord, come and join the Discord. You will have missed the latest watch along because would be yesterday as of the release of this episode.
Yeah,
Time travel. But you can be on board with the next one.
sure.
It sounds like we're going to probably watch. What did we just say?
Maybe Face Off.
Maybe Face Off. That'd be cool. We should do that. I think we're about done.
Yeah,
That's a full-on wave we've just done there.
yeah.
So
Good times.
shall we go off now and talk about 8 Remains?
Let's do it. We can't put this off any longer. That sounds like I don't want to do it. I really want to do it, but
I'm terrified of doing it.
yeah. What a film we've got to talk about this week.
Honestly, you don't want to miss this. Come back on Thursday because this could be the end of our brains, and you don't want to miss that. So that's all we've got to say, I think.
We'll see you on Thursday. Cheers.
Bye.